Servicing the brewer. It is difficult to forecast how often the brewer should be serviced. There are so many factors that contribute to the need for a brewer service that in most cases you will establish an interval that best suits your needs. A good starting point is a service every 6 months. You may find it necessary to do this more often or even less frequently. Servicing a brewer consists of cleaning the brewer screens and changing the internal O-rings. To change the upper O-ring and clean the screen, first remove the snap ring out of its seat. At this point, the piston can be removed from the crosspiece. Next, remove the screen and O-ring from the piston and thoroughly clean the screen and plastic. Replace with a new O-ring and reattach the screen to the piston. If you are only replacing the top O-ring, reassemble the piston to the crosspiece, making sure the piston is in the correct notch of the crosspiece. Our suggested procedure is to replace both upper and lower O-rings at the same time. In this case, leave the top piston out until the service on the bottom screen has been completed. The Corinto brewer has a variable chamber head, and disassembly of this portion is quite different than that of the Coro brewer. First, disconnect the 2 water lines located at the top of the brewer. To do this, simply push in the green collar on the Quick Connect fittings. While holding the collar in, pull outward on the water line. Remove the brewer from the machine as previously described. Disconnect the 2 connecting rods from the upper piston by removing the E-clips holding them in place and lifting the rods up and off the piston as shown. Loosen, but do not remove, the screws holding the brewer halves together. Pull the halves apart and remove the upper piston assembly from the unit. Turn the hex nut holding the spring in place to remove the movable piston. Remove the screw holding the ring in place. Remove all O-rings, then clean and descale parts as necessary. Reassemble all parts in the reverse order. To change the lower O-ring on both brewers, you will begin by loosening the 2 screws as demonstrated on the back of the brewer. Loosening these 2 screws is necessary so you can remove the coffee funnel. Next, remove the snap ring on the bottom of the piston shaft. At this point, it will be possible to push up on the piston shaft and remove the lower screen and shaft from the brewer. Clean the lower piston, piston screen, and replace the O-ring with a new O-ring. Then, reassemble the parts in reverse order. Be sure to reattach the small E-clip onto the bottom of the piston shaft. Reinsert the coffee funnel. And then retighten the side screws. Keep in mind the brewer itself can be washed with soap and water or can be run through a dishwasher.